Simon Des from Bravo, we're over it. Hey, Telemundo. Yes. Yes. Ready. Hey, Adrian, yeah, you're looking at a high-speed chase. This is southbound 405 freeway coming through Long Beach as the California Highway Patrol tried to make a stop on this Ford Focus. It failed to yield. The want on it was for speed. This all started at 6:21 this morning, and it has continued down the 405 freeway. It tried to exit at one point, but then continued on the freeway southbound at speeds as high as 90 miles an hour. We're looking at about 88 miles an hour right now, but again, southbound 405 just now passing Long Beach Airport. Yeah, we're hearing that it's a female driver, one person in the car, just the driver so far. So that's what the CHP is reporting right now. But again, the speeds have slowed down a little bit as we're approaching Orange County. Again, you see 2 or 3, actually about 4 or 5 units that are in pursuit, in trail of this vehicle. It all started around the 405 freeway and the 105 freeway and continued southbound. You know, and I'm looking out the window. It doesn't look like it. It's approaching the 605 interchange right now, and it looks like it's smooth sailing at least all the way to the 605 freeway right now. So traffic speeds here, freeway speeds I should say, but about 90 miles an hour. Actually, let me come in tighter, and it's about 75 miles an hour on the vehicle. It has slowed down significantly from about 90 miles an hour just a short time ago. Yeah, at Avalon, the vehicle tried to, or acted like it was going to exit the freeway, but the driver came back on the freeway and continued. So that, other than that, it's been on the freeway the whole time. Again, failure to yield after a traffic stop for speed, the vehicle speeding off from the California Highway Patrol units there, and that's when the pursuit started. That's right. In fact, at the 605 freeway, we'll see what happens. The driver can go northbound on that 605 freeway, but right now in that lane, it's going to be committed to the southbound 405 freeway towards Westminster. Yeah, let me come out and let's see. We got one, two, I can see about 4 units in the pursuit right now. 1 immediate there and 3 in trail. So that's the situation here right now. And they're going to hand it off to the Westminster units that are setting up for intercepting this pursuit, and they'll take over from there. Well, yeah, we're looking at traffic up ahead now, just passing the interchange here at 605 and the 405, southbound 405, and going into Seal Beach. We do have a little bit heavier traffic up ahead in about a half a mile. Around this curve, we'll start to see a little bit heavier traffic as we approach southbound here on the 405. You see a Westminster unit there getting in position to take over the pursuit. Oh, most definitely. You see the multiple lanes here on this portion of the freeway. Now you have the 22 freeway up ahead. The driver will be able to go eastbound on the 22 or continue southbound on the 405. That's an option here in about a mile and a half. But in this lane, the driver should continue on the 405 freeway. Yeah, the CHP tried to pull over the vehicle wanted for speeding. When that happened, the driver drove away from the officers. That they call it a failure to yield, and that's when the pursuit started. About 6:21 this morning, that's when the CHP got behind the vehicle. It was over by the 105 freeway on the 405 southbound, and it's continued on the 405 so far the whole time, except for one time it tried to exit at Avalon. Look at this move all the way across lanes, right through traffic. Very dangerous there. The CHP trying to keep up with the vehicle, but again, this might be a move to get on the 22 freeway. We'll see right down the center of the freeway, and this driver will have the option to take that 22 freeway if he moves over to the right lane, but so far not happening. Yeah, it started about 6:21 this morning when the CHP got behind it, but right now it has committed to the 405 freeway southbound from the 22. We're approaching Springdale Street, and as I come out wide, you'll see the CHP still about 4 units in trail of the pursuit, and we're crossing right now. That's Springdale that we just crossed, and we're going to continue towards Beach Boulevard here in a few minutes. Yeah, that's correct, Adrian. Southbound 405 from the 22. That's right, and that's going to be in about 6 miles or so. But right now, the traffic on the 405 freeway is light to medium at this hour, and it's looking pretty evenly spread out. The cars are, as I come out to a wide shot, you see traffic on both sides of the freeway moving pretty well, and the CHP still in trail. We did hear the California Highway Patrol say that it was a female driver. So at this point, that's what we're hearing. Only one occupant in the vehicle, as according to that lead vehicle. Yes, for sure. We're still southbound 405 freeway. We are coming into, approaching Costa Mesa in a few miles here. But again, the driver about, let me come in to get a better speed for you, about 75, 80 miles an hour, still in that number one lane. And again, traffic pretty light right now. Actually, Adrian, they were considering that back at the 22 interchange there, but they were not able to make that happen due to the amount of lanes and the amount of traffic out here. But you see this portion of the 405 has a lot of construction right now. It is slowing down traffic a bit. The cars are getting closer together, but this vehicle continuing to hit the gas here, southbound 405, and we are approaching the Costa Mesa area in just a minute or two. Well, we're approaching Euclid right now, southbound 405 freeway, and the speed still holding about the same. The traffic out here due to the construction is kind of narrowing things down in lanes, but again, southbound 405 freeway approaching Euclid in about a mile or two. You know, they could do that. CHP generally won't do that unless it's a very high speed, very dangerous situation. I mean, it is high speed here. It is rather dangerous, but it's enough for the CHP to stay in there. The vehicle really isn't going all across lanes. We did see one move at one point just a few minutes ago, but for the most part, the drivers are maintaining one lane at a time here. The California Highway Patrol airship is overhead and tracking it and keeping an eye on it. But at this point, they feel comfortable keeping the units behind it. Let me pull out to a wide shot so you see the units there in trail, but that car staying in that number one lane. We're actually coming up to the 73, and then beyond that is going to be the 55 freeway. And we'll see what happens here, but the car in the fast lane there will not get over in time unless it cuts over at the last minute to get on that 73 south. Yeah, let me work on getting the map situated back up on the air. But again, the vehicle's moved over a little bit here, slowed down quite a bit actually. Let me come in for the speed one more time here, and it's about 65 miles an hour as the vehicle continues southbound on the 405, coming into the South Coast Plaza area. If you know where that shopping mall is, we'll be passing that very shortly. It was about 90 miles an hour when the pursuit first started, and has slowed down quite a bit here because of the traffic, because of the construction as well. Yeah, most definitely. That's usually the case. I can tell you that the car's registered out of Ontario. We just heard that just shortly, but a few minutes ago, I should say. But at this point, it's not really heading that way. It's really going to South Orange County. Absolutely. We're into the interchange here at the 55 and the 405. The driver is going to continue southbound going into Irvine now. That's right. It'll head to the El Toro Y in about 5 or 6 miles ahead. You see more units there of the California Highway Patrol in the fast lane there in behind the K-rails. But look at the traffic here as it slows down through the John Wayne Airport. We're passing right now over the airport, and you see how the traffic's kind of clumped together here. But it does loosen up as we get away from the airport. Yeah, that's right, steady. You know, it was at the beginning of the pursuit. The driver took off at a high rate of speed, 90 miles an hour at one point, but it has slowed down. That was around the 710 freeway. It started to slow down, and as we passed the airport of Long Beach, it did start to slow down and has been averaging about 70, 75 miles an hour at this point. Taking. Yeah, it was about the 105 freeway and on the 405 southbound. That's where the California Highway Patrol tried to make the stop on the vehicle, and that's when the driver fled. It was about 6:21 when they made that initial attempt to stop the vehicle, and that's when the pursuit started, hitting the speed about 90 miles an hour at one point. And now we are about 405 freeway at Culver, and the car is slowing down a little bit here, about 60 miles an hour, 65 miles an hour. That's a good point, and maybe they did put out a spike strip out there. I never did see it, although we did see those two units behind the K-rail. That might have been the point where the driver ran over a spike strip. That, in fact, now that I think about it, that was in a perfect spot for the officers to be protected, and they likely did put a strip out there. I haven't heard on the scanners if that was the case, but it sure looks like that front tire is down. Yeah, good point. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Definitely slower. In fact, we did see some parts of the car coming off at one point. I don't know if that's the rim or part of the front bumper, but it looks like it's down low. But look at the driver going right through a couple of cars that were stopped. Very dangerous. Absolutely. With that one tire blown like that, it definitely poses a problem, at least for steering it, keeping control of the vehicle. That is definitely an issue. So we'll see what happens. So far, staying in that diamond lane, and well, as I come out wide, you'll see how traffic has loosened up here quite a bit as we approach the El Toro Y. Absolutely, all the way over to the slow lane at one point here, going around that big rig. We have the map system back up and operational now, and you see the speeds there. As I come out to a wide shot, we were approaching the El Toro Y, still units in trail here, still speeds pretty up there, but you see a truck there, a pickup truck that's kind of keeping pace with that driver. We're not sure what's going on there, but that driver there for a little bit was just staying right alongside the car and has moved up ahead a little bit. So that's always a concern for the police, that anybody tries to get involved, that can be a very dangerous situation. Oh. Well, that's right. You're looking at southbound 405 freeway at coming up to El Toro Road, and the driver just, running on that rim, it looks like now. We did see some debris coming off the car a short time ago, but again, it looked like they did the spike strip right around the 55 freeway at the interchange there. They had a couple units that were in behind a K-rail. They were able to get a spike strip out there, but look at that front tire. I'm going to come in a little tighter so you can see it's on the rim, so very dangerous situation. Might be exiting. Yeah, exiting the freeway now, and we'll see what happens as we get some traffic there at the end of the off-ramp there, and got some traffic behind it in a slow lane, and we'll see if they try to do the felony stop right now, as the driver has really nowhere to go at this point. And nope, on the gas again here. They could do it. In fact, we might see it as the vehicle exits here. We'll see which direction it goes. If it makes a right-hand turn, well, no, it's going to go straight through the intersection there, and we might see the pit now. You got a clear road. You got multiple lanes here, and no traffic to speak of right now, at least on that side. As soon as those units clear those cars pulling over, we might see that pit happen. Absolutely, right through El Toro Road there, so we're continuing on Paseo de Valencia, and we might see it happen here. There is a mall right here. We'll see what happens if the driver tries to turn in there, but so far, no pit maneuver attempt. They're getting a little bit into position there, but still no pit maneuver yet. We are in, this should be El Toro area near Laguna Woods. Oh, ran the red light there. Okay. Well, we're continuing coverage on NBC LA. This is Gil Davis in News Chopper 4 Alpha. We're looking at this vehicle now in Laguna Hills, actually it is. We are southbound Alicia Parkway. The vehicle just made a turn right in front of a big rig. So that's the first red light that we've seen this driver run. Go ahead for Gil, go ahead. Yes, we do have plenty of fuel, definitely for that, and we have about at least an hour, if not longer. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. This pursuit continues through Laguna Hills, Aliso Viejo, southbound on Alicia Parkway, and we are approaching the 73 toll road. You see California Highway Patrol still in pursuit. It looks like at least the front driver tire blown out and is on the rims. We don't know if the passenger side is blown out, but we can see a lot of the asphalt kicking up from that rim. The driver able to maintain the vehicle as he has been driving off, or came off the 5 freeway at El Toro Road and then has turned right here on Alicia Parkway. Again, the want on this was for speed. The California Highway Patrol tried to pull the vehicle over. It was southbound 405 freeway, around the 105 freeway, hard on the brakes here as the car approaches Aliso Creek Road, and you see the vehicle coming to a stop. We saw one red light run, but the driver for the most part has been stopping at intersections like this. Let's come in a little closer here till we get a better look at the driver. Look at that tire. I mean, that rim is just down to its rim. No tire that's come off already. That came off on the freeway, but right now the vehicle stopped, but not yielding. It has stopped a couple times at intersections like this. The California Highway Patrol with that first unit with its door popped open in case the driver decides to jump out and run, but so far that's not happening. Waiting for the green light. And away the driver goes slowly on that rim. We might see a pit maneuver coming up. The speed limit, the maximum speed is around 30-35 miles an hour for a pit to do it safely. The vehicle has gone up to 50 plus miles an hour on surface streets, so it might not be the right conditions for that pit maneuver. We'll just wait and see if that unit there decides to do that. But right now, the driver is able to maintain control of the vehicle with that front tire missing. Just on its rim, it is chewing up the asphalt. At nighttime we'd see sparks kicking up from this, but we really can't see those sparks. We're seeing a lot of the debris coming off that rim for sure, but at this point, continuing southbound on Alicia Parkway at Kite Hill. A U-turn maybe. Well, we'll see what happens here. Trying to U-turn, but can't really navigate it. Here comes the pit maneuver, pushing the vehicle. They're going to block the driver in. That's going to do it. The driver trying to make a U-turn, but the rim didn't allow for that traction to make that complete U-turn there. Fortunately, no cars were coming towards it at the time on the opposing lanes of the Alicia Parkway. And now they've walked up to the window, and they may have to break the window out. We'll see what happens if the driver is refusing to come out. Here comes the officer on the passenger side trying to break the window out now. That's a tough window there. Here comes a sheriff's deputy to assist. And here comes the stick that's going to come out and break the window. There it goes. One hard swing, and that will pop the door open. The driver, reportedly a woman, the CHP early on in the pursuit said it was a woman that was driving and no other occupants. So we'll see what happens here as the driver remains in the seat. And having to be dragged out of the car. Say that again. No worries. Well, this California Highway Patrol units that have made the stop, being assisted by the Orange County Sheriff's deputies that have arrived on scene, they had to pull the woman from the car, breaking out the passenger window, now trying to get her to her feet. It's unclear if she's having a medical condition there. She was holding onto the door as they pulled her down to the ground and have her handcuffed. And right now, lanes blocked here on Alicia Parkway. That would be the northbound lanes towards the 73. This ended just south of the 73 freeway. Once again, to update this pursuit, it all started about 6:21 this morning with California Highway Patrol trying to make a stop on the vehicle for speed. A driver took off when the lights and sirens came on, and that's when the pursuit started around the 105 on the 405 southbound. That's when we learned about it and started heading towards it. It was about 90 miles an hour at one point, southbound 405, went past the 710 freeway, past Long Beach Airport, all the way down through Costa Mesa and past John Wayne Airport, and then continued on the 405 south through the El Toro Y, exiting on El Toro Road, and then making a right-hand turn on Alicia Parkway. It was around the John Wayne Airport where the spike strip occurred. The CHP officers were able to put a spike strip on the freeway in a safe location. They were able to get that spike strip in front of the car, and it looked like it deflated the tires. The tires started to come off. It went down to the rim, and you can see now the passenger side, it looks like, well, it's hard to say, but it looks like there might be partial rubber on that tire. The driver tried to make a left turn, and actually a U-turn here on Alicia, and try to go back the other direction, but the vehicle couldn't make it because there was no traction on that driver front wheel, and that's when they blocked her in and broke the window to get her out.
To watch more heart-stopping car chases happening across Southern California, subscribe here. Thanks for watching. The Chase is on.